Hello, I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor, and today I'm going to help you to decide whether we hit a chip shot, whether we hit a pitch shot, or whether we hit a putt. It's a fairly easy way of determining that. I'll show you how to do it in a minute. So how do we determine if we should chip the shot, pitch the shot, or putt the shot? You may have noticed golf pros on TV during telecasts, and they stand near the ball and they're swinging their hand and arm. You ever wonder what they're doing? What they're actually doing is they're thinking to themselves, if I was going to throw this golf ball and finish nearest the pin, how would I throw it? Am I going to think about tossing it right up in the air and landing near that pin and stopping? Am I going to roll it really low along the ground and let it run all the way? Or am I going to land it about, a third of the way and let it run up? So once they determine what their natural instinct is, they then set about replicating that shot. So if I was to stand here and think, how would I throw this ball to get near there? I would do something along those lines. So I'm landing it about a third of the way on, and the ball ran. It wasn't a very good throw, but it was reasonably accurate. So that's my natural instinct. So now I've got to set about trying to replicate that shot with a golf club. So I've chosen a 9-iron, and I'm going to play something a bit like more of a pitch and run rather than a chip and run. So I'm going to try and land it on that first third. So I play the ball back in my stance a little bit, and my wrists are a little bit softer than usual for a chip shot because I do need to get the ball in the air for about 15 metres, and if I don't use my wrists I can't do that. Once I land, because it's a 9-iron and because I've played it back and I've de-lofted it, the ball is going to run up the hill. We've had a bit of rain here yesterday and the green's a bit soft, but I still expect it to run a little bit. So let's see how I go with this one. And the ball landed on that first third and then ran, released all the way up, and I've run that about 2 feet past the hole. So I'm pretty happy with that result, but even if I didn't hit it that well, at least I'm thinking about what it is I'm trying to do. Could I putt from here? No, the grass is too long. If the grass was shorter, I might have considered it, and if it certainly wasn't as wet. So the fact that the grass is a little long, I either had to pitch it or I could chip it. So we'll try it from a different location and we'll see how we go with that one. So here we're a lot closer to the green and there's a bit of a steep embankment. Once again, this grass is very wet. It's also quite thick. It's a couple of inches thick. I don't think I can putt from here. I think that's too much of a risk. So now I'm faced with a shot. Can I hit it up in the air and land it soft and stop it? Or do I want to hit a shot that lands just before the edge of the green and then runs? So let's go back to my instinct and we'll see how I go. So I'm going to do that little exercise that we spoke of before, feeling the way I'm going to throw it. Now my instinct is going to be to throw it, land it on the edge there, and hopefully let it run up. Once again, it wasn't a great throw, but I landed it where I wanted it to. So I'm going to hit this shot with a 55-degree sand wedge. So it's more of a chip. I'm going to play it off the back foot, and I'm really concentrating on my length of swing more than anything, and I want it to land on the edge of or just back from the edge of the green by about 1 metre. Once it does that, there should be enough energy on the ball to let it run up closer to the hole. We'll see how I go from here. Landed pretty much spot on, and the ball landed, released, so that's about 2 feet from the hole as well. Now the other shot that I could play is I could actually toss it up there. So this one's much harder and it's probably not quite as forgiving. If I mishit it, I'm going to pay a maximum penalty. But there might be times when you think the risk is worthwhile. So here I'm going to try and toss it up and land it somewhere about 1 metre to 1.5 metres short of the flagstick, and hopefully it stops. So from here, I've got a bigger swing so more things can go wrong. I've got to expose the bounce of the golf club to the ground. Contact might not be as solid. So it's, once again, it's one of those high risk situations, but some people are really good at it. Phil Mickelson is one of the best, and he chooses this shot more than the other shot. But you've got to go with your own strength. know what you're capable of, know what your best results are going to be with. So I'll try and play that other shot and we'll see how we go. So this time I'm using a longer swing, my hands are softer, and this is more of a pitch shot. So the ball lands up there, it landed about 2 meters short. It stopped very quickly upon landing, and that's just as good as the other result. Now I've got a fairly good standard of my technique, so it's going to be, the odds are in my favour. If you haven't practiced this and your technique isn't as good, you're probably better playing the other shot. But you can see there I've taken a bit of a chunky divot. If I had have decelerated, I could easily have ended up. So you just got to choose which one's best. Now we're going to go to a different location and we'll see what happens from there. Okay, so now we're in our third location. I'm just off the edge of the green. The green isn't, this surround is cut reasonably fine, so I think I can pretty well putt from here. I don't feel comfortable in throwing it up in the air from such a short distance. I don't really want to land it halfway. My temptation when I play this shot is to just get it low and roll it along the ground. That to me is the best alternative. So I'm going to now replicate that with a putter. So it breaks left to right, so I've got to align myself to the left. Then it's a case of just choosing what length of swing I need to hit this shot. And that's run about a foot to 18 inches past. So I'm pretty happy with that result too. So that's how we determine whether we should chip it, whether we should pitch it, or whether we should putt it. Go find out what your instinct is and try and replicate that shot with a golf club. Thank you for letting me help you with your golf. I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor. If you like my videos, you can share them with a friend at the bottom of the video. You can subscribe by clicking on the button there. You can also get further information from my Facebook page or my Twitter page. You can also sign up to my newsletter on thegolfdoctor.com.au and fill in the form there, and then you'll be notified when every new video comes online.